So, for the people who have been watching my content have known that I have a love for video games. More specifically, games based off of movies. And more specifically, games based off of aliens. Fuck, how many videos have I made? Two videos based off of these games. Oh boy. I gotta stop. Well, guess what, fucko? Now we got a third. Granted, the first video was just me making a bunch of jokes and playing the game, and then the second video was me discussing the positives and the negatives of the game. But it's what I was inspired to do at the time. So today I want to discuss Fireteam Elite, one of the most recent games based off of the Alien franchise. And let me tell you something. This game is fucking fun, at least until you complete all of the missions. In this video, I'm going to compare and contrast Aliens Fireteam Elite to Aliens Colonial Marines. The two games center focused around the Colonial Marines. First things first, this game is visually stunning. Granted, these two games are years apart, but Colonial Marines was promising the same thing, they just never provided it. So this game, I guess, kind of makes up for that. Now, let's get to the heart of the game. The reason why these games get so much attention. The xenomorphs. What the fuck? I know this is small, and I know I can ignore this, but I'm choosing not to. It really says a lot about myself. I'm an asshole. But I'm an asshole that loves Alien, and seeing all of the aliens crawl is just something that doesn't agree with me. Cause in pretty much all the movies, the aliens walk like human beings, and the only time they crawl is when they're in vents or they're on walls or ceilings, or they're just trying to hide from you and lurk in the shadows. You see, that makes sense. You see, let me show you something. If I'm hiding, and I'm in a vent or some crazy shit like that, I'm gonna be crawling. You see, I'm crawling around. Look at me, I'm hiding. I'm lurking in the shadows like Batman. I'm crawling. And if I were to be walking around on walls, I'd be fucking crawling everywhere. I'm like Spider-Man. Ow, fuck. But you see, if I'm trying to attack you, I wouldn't get on all fours and pounce at your legs, alright? That's just the one thing I don't get. That's the one thing I don't get. If these aliens are trying to attack you and they just go for the legs, wouldn't that make your character fall over every time? And there is actually an alien that does that. It's called the Prowler. We'll talk about this fucking thing later. And the only ones that I have seen crawl were the protomorph from Covenant or the dog xenomorph from Alien 3. Which begs the question, are these all protomorphs or are these all dog morphs? And if that's the case, how many fucking dogs are there? Are Weyland-Yutani just doing a bunch of dog experiments? Hey, it's like I always tell myself, these games are a bitch to deal with. And I'd just like to bring up what I said in the previous video. These aliens are so fucking easy to kill! Granted, in this game, the Colonial Marines have more experience because they have experienced the alien a few times and now they're kind of used to killing these things. So, I don't want the aliens to be hard to kill because these Marines have already experienced the aliens enough. But what I do want is for this game to have one difficulty, and that is hard! This game needs to be hard! I need Dark Souls in space! By the time I finish this game, I want my ass to be sweating like I'm in the Mojave Desert, and my blood to be boiling like it's acid. Pun very much intended. And speaking of acid for blood, if you stand in the alien's acid after you kill them, it does damage to you. Which, thank you! In Colonial Marines, if you stand over the acid blood, all it does is make a sizzling sound effect. I don't necessarily think it did much damage to you. But if you stand in it in this game, it does damage to you over time. And so you learn to eventually avoid the acid puddles. Oh my, thank you so much for adding it in. Another problem I see with this game is the fact that they replicated the same thing with shooter enemies, Weyland-Yutani troopers. This time it's only synthetics, which I guess is kind of better. It's a lot more tolerable in this game than it was in the other game, but it still feels like a fucking Call of Duty game. Defensive positions, yes! Yes! They finally added it in! Woo! This is what this game needed. Oh my, defensive positions in this game. You're able to use mines, turrets, drones, all the spiel. If they continue to work on this game, please add more defensive stuff into the game. Fuck, have a game mode, have horde mode, have waves. You want a copy of Call of Duty? Copy of Call of Duty Zombies. Have it be waves of aliens where you put turrets down and you put mines down and fucking shit. This is what we need. This is what Colonial Marines needed, but we never got any of that. Now, I want to bring up this thing. now so I don't forget about it later, because I just want to forget this thing exists. The Prowler is a good idea on paper, but it was executed poorly. The Prowler and one other type of alien should be the only two aliens that crawl around, but every single alien outside of the heavy-duty aliens crawl around, so one of the special factors about this alien is just completely gone. The only special thing it does is hide on the walls and jump on you.
Oh, did I forget to mention that it's also red? Yeah, we haven't added a different color alien in before. Let's just put in red. Even though it's a stealth enemy and the color red will make it stand out more, let's just give it fucking red.
Usually sometimes the color red signifies something bad. Well, guess what? This alien's bad. Congratulations! You color-coded the aliens instead of making the alien good. It's a different day because I underprepared for this video. Thought I was gonna have enough footage to get through everything I wanted to say, and I don't really want to repeat all the footage, but yeah. Now there's two more things I want to complain about. First thing is the boss fights. The boss fights aren't interesting or engaging or unique. One thing I gotta admit is that Colonial Marines somewhat has decent boss fights. Granted, the final boss fight was absolute AIDS when you fight the Queen. Wasn't really anything good, but every other boss fight was significantly better than what you face here. And last but not least, every single Alien game had some sort of horror element to it, or some tension. You were either tensed up or you were scared to play the game. This game doesn't give you any of that. And it's like what I said in the last video, the franchise is slowly diverting away from its magnum opus, that being the creation of tension. And in this game, there's no tension whatsoever. But hey, it's still significantly better than Colonial Marines. God damn it.